Hi, my name is Ben Story. I'm going to show you how to put together a picnic table for outdoor use. And I'll start with the tools and materials you'll need. You'll definitely need a saw. You don't have to have power tools per se, but it makes it a ton of easier. So we used a miter saw, a circular saw, and some hand tools we used are clamps, drill bits. The hardware we used were outdoor deck screws, so they hold up against weather and rusting. They'll last for a long time. The lumber you'll need are 2x8s, 2x6, 2x4s, and a pressure treated for the legs, which will be touching the ground, so it'll hold up a lot longer, and a 2x6 of pressure treated lumber. We got long lengths of these, 12 feet or longer, and we cut them to size. The tabletop will be the 2x8s, and they'll be 8 feet long, and same as the bench will be 2x6s, and they'll be 8 feet long. So you'll need 4 2x6s, 8 feet, 5 2x8s, 8 feet, and 2 2x4s by 8 feet. And you should just need one pressure treated wood at 12 foot long, 2x6. The plans we got were from YouTube video from this old house. First we cut the tabletop to 8 foot lengths. We didn't have sawhorses, so we used the old picnic table to work on. We built the table from the top up, so it was basically building an upside down table from the top up or the bottom up, however you look at it. Lay out the 5 2x8s and use nails as spacers. This allows the wood to swell and shrink as needed. Clamp the edges. Clamp once the edges are flush, everything's lined up. And prepare the 2x4s into 3 pieces that are 32 inches long. Measure 16 inches from the end of the tabletop, and we screw those 32-inch 2x4s into the underside of the tabletop, making sure to keep everything square. With your carpenter triangle, you can check your square and make sure everything is as needed. We did miter the ends before we screwed in the cross braces. We mitered the ends so it would be less likely to bump your knee against the 2x4 corners. And once you're screwed in and everything's even, that's your tabletop. It's done. Easy. To complete the benches is even easier, believe it or not. You cut the 2x6s into 8 foot lengths. You'll need 4 of those. And then you'll cut another 2x4 into 3 pieces that are only 10 inches long. It's important to drill the cross members for the benches in an offset pattern so you don't split the wood. Next comes the cross piece for the A-frame. We cut a 2x8 to 6 feet long, and then on each end of the 6 foot 2x8 we cut at an angle of 25 degrees. After that, we cut the legs to length, which is 24 inches, or 34 inches, excuse me, with an angle of 28 degrees. Using bar clamps to position the legs against the cross members of the tabletop. Tighten the clamps to hold into place, and you screw the legs into the cross members. Next, clamp the A-frame to the legs and ensure it is square with the tabletop. This is what the A-frame support piece is what the bench will sit on. So it's important that it's level with the tabletop that you're going to be using. We measured 12¼ inches from the leg ends to the top of this A-frame piece to allow good space, and there'll be enough enough space to sit between, lots of leg room between the seat and the table. We had to take a short break here because Griffey decided to run off without telling anybody, and we searched everywhere we could for about 30 minutes. When we came back, she was back at the shed, so no harm, no foul, I suppose. We fastened the A-frame piece to the legs using the same outdoor screws, and then we cut the other piece the same length and angle and clamped it to mark the sides better, to make it easier to connect or fasten to the other pair of legs on the other side of the table. Then we cut 2x4s to fit between the A-frame piece and the center cross piece. We used a carpenter square. This is a little trick, and once we had the braces sitting where they would lay, we just put the carpenter square and marked the angle that would be fastening to the center cross piece. Then we screwed this brace from the outside of the A-frame and the inside corners of the center cross member. We marked the center of the legs by marking an X with using a straight edge from edge to edge, and obviously where the two lines meet, that's your center point. We're going to take our paddle drill bits. One paddle drill bit will be 1.25 inches long, and the other paddle drill bit will be 1/2 inch long, or 1/2 inch wide and 1/4 inch wide. Use the 1 1/4 inch wide just for about 1/8 of an inch into the legs to countersink the carriage bolts. And then once you've done that to all 4 legs, you can use the 1/2 inch drill bit and go all the way through the legs and A-frame. You'll hammer the bolt into all the way through, attach a washer, lock washer, and lock nut on the other side. You'll tighten this down, make sure everything's nice and rigid and secure, and then you're going to need some help because this thing's heavy. You're going to flip it over, and you will set the benches, your bench seating, onto your support beams. We used a board to square up the tabletop ends with the bench ends, and then the end of the support beam, and screwed them down using bolts or screws, the same screws, outdoor screws. And after you've done all 4 corners of the seating, you're basically done. And congratulations, you'll have a picnic table that will last for years and years and hold up pretty much anything. Thank you for watching.